What's up, adventurers? My name is Platinum Phoenix, and welcome back to Pikmin 2. Last time, we defeated the Man-at-Arms and got ourselves a light bulb. And this time, we are heading back to the Valley of Repose to see about getting the last couple of treasures on the surface. So let's go ahead and get started. So today's gonna be pretty easy, if I'm being honest. We want to grab out, I think, about 40 blues. Go ahead and grab just all the blues. 35 reds. And then the rest, I think, are going to be yellows. So about 25 yellows. And we have a ton of leaves here, so I'm actually going to run over here and show that there's no grass on this level because it's actually frozen. But if we go up here, there are eggs, which are sometimes better than grass because grass can sometimes not have nectar in it. Eggs will almost always have nectar in them. So we do that, and we should have basically all flowers now, which should make this first part of the day, or this day in general, just go easier. So now we need to run all the way around this level. And I'm going to show why it's going to be pretty easy today. There's no bulborbs here. We run over here. There's no more water because we broke that. There is a burrowing snagrid still up there, but we don't need to deal with it. We already built this bridge, so we don't need to deal with it. There's no enemies over here because they're already defeated. It's very empty here, I will say. Once you defeat all the enemies, it's just an empty location that you have to run through. But this is the location we're actually going to, and I need to separate my Pikmin, all of you, and I need to grab just the yellows. All 25 of you. Because if we run up this little hill, there's actually a treasure up here that you need specifically yellows to get because any other Pikmin can't be thrown high enough. And I brought 25 because it takes exactly 25 to carry it. And then next up, we have some water dumples here. So I'm going to take my 40 blues and we are just going to fight all of them. And if we could actually start hitting the second one, that would be great. Nope, don't carry that away either. We still need to take out this one. Luckily, these things are not super dangerous. Have a couple of you take those, have a couple of you take those, carry this out. But I don't think I'm actually going to have my blue Pikmin take those all the way up to the onions. I think I'm just going to have them carry them to about here. And then I'll whistle them so I can put them over here so they're out of the way. And I have a leaf there. I don't know how I have a leaf still, but I have a leaf. And I need to grab all 35 of these and show you that we need reds because if I zoom out, there's a fiery bull blacks back there that only the reds can hit. And it's very specific how you do this. You need to walk almost all the way into the water so your cursor can be on the next island, and then you have to throw your Pikmin across. Alright, what is this bear statue? This is fossilized Urside. Or Ursaid. Either way, we still need to just throw our red Pikmin across here, and then you want to be about in the middle of this platform when you whistle them, so that when they run over to you, they don't run into the water. And then you basically need to do the exact same thing to throw them over here onto this island, or onto this land. And we just need to throw all 35 of them over, and then I like to stand in this corner to whistle them, because it's almost impossible for them to hurt themselves or run into the water. And basically we're just going to get as close to this as possible, put our cursor on it, and just throw like crazy. Throw everyone. Throw everyone. Come on, don't let him eat anyone. I think we actually got by, yeah, we didn't lose a single Pikmin there, which is pretty good, because that fiery Bulblax usually eats at least one or two. But to get back, we literally just have to do the opposite of what we did on the way here and just, or we had to do the exact same thing, but in the opposite order. So we had to whistle them there, and then we have to go to this edge, and if any of them get into the water, just run back and whistle them so that they get back on land. You should not lose any Pikmin to water here, because for the most part, the Pikmin like to behave. I say as one is currently trying to drown itself. And throw you there, and then we just need to run around and whistle them before they decide to jump into the water again. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have them carry all of this stuff. How many Pikmin are left? Throw them over there so they can help carry that stuff. Okay, I think they got onto something. And then those four reds can help me in a second, because we need to start carrying this stuff back as well. And I think the Bulblax should only be 10 Pikmin, so we'll put 10 on him. 2 more. And then once that gets out of the way, I believe this only requires 30 Pikmin. Yes, so we have a perfect amount, actually. And honestly, they should walk right past those reds, so they should attach themselves. So instead of just watching them walk back, I want to walk over here to show that while you're walking around, there's these shadows. You can see like this big block shadow that's here. And if we walk a little bit up here, there's this big like circular shadow that stretches all the way. And if you look over here, there's lines going off of the shadow. This shadow is actually pretty interesting because it's the only one in the game that is like this. And it's to help show that this world is supposed to be like a desolated Earth. If you go into the shadows file for the game, you can find this exact shadow, and it's actually a power line. You can see like the electricity box here, which is this big square. The cylinder circle that goes all the way up is the power line pole, and then you have these little wires or little lines here that almost look like a gate from this angle, but those are actually the power lines themselves going off of the pole. And I'll actually put an image on screen to show what the full image looks like, because it's like a power line and then there's like trees with no leaves, and it's just a really cool image that they have basically overlaying this whole location to kind of give it more of an atmospheric feel, and to show, like I said, that this is supposed to be Earth that's been decimated, or desolated, not decimated, by some sort of event that had happened to wipe out humans, which is why Pikmin are now here. But this stopwatch, which we just picked up, is 110 Pokos, and it is a temporal mechanism, which is a fancy way of saying a watch. And I think what I'm going to use the rest of this day to do is just get some more Pikmin, because as you heard, the treasure gate just powered off because we have all of the treasure that's here. So that's a couple of yellows. We have a blue pellet there that they can get. We're gonna have probably a red one here. Nope, another yellow. I'm basically just giving it to whatever color shows up, because it's easier to do that way. I want to hit that one, and then we'll hit this one. So we have a red and a blue. And we'll have 5 reds go on that one, and we'll have a couple of blues go on this one to carry it back. And then once we get all of these pellet posies back, which I think, since we have enough time, we're actually not low on time at all, I'm going to run over here and see if the pellet posies that were over here on day 1 and 2 are back as well. So, do we have pellet posies here? It does not look like it. I do want to show, though, that if we run down here, the imprint of Louis is still here. Even after what has been, 9 days since we first landed here, and that imprint was there, even though this place is constantly snowing and you would think it would be covered up, it's just still there for some reason. I think we have one more 10 pellet posy that we can get. I just don't want to leave any of my Pikmin behind because it would be a hassle to run after them again. It does not look like there's a pellet posy there anymore, so what we are going to do is we're going to put away all of our Pikmin and get our Pikmin together that we will need for the next dungeon. So, put all the regular Pikmin away, and I want to grab out 30 purples, because I'll be honest, purples are going to be the most helpful for this dungeon. I need 20 whites. I think we're going to do 15 reds. And the reason I put the Pikmin away instead of just going down to the number is because whenever you pull Pikmin out of an onion, it will always prioritize flower Pikmin over leaf Pikmin. And I had a couple of leaves from fighting the fiery bull blacks and our fiery bull bear and the water dumples. So it's just easier to do this. So I want 20 blues. And then the last 15 are going to be yellows. And I think this next dungeon is actually going to be our first example of a dungeon that has every type of hazard, which is why we have a pretty well-rounded team here of Pikmin. There's not any one Pikmin I could leave out of this to help give room to more Pikmin, which is actually why I had to go down to 15 for the yellows and reds in order to get the extra 10 purples that I wanted to bring. But we are just going to whistle Olimar and head up this way. This shadow is just so cool. Once I started doing research for this game and saw that's what this shadow was, it was just a really cool thing to discover. And it's one of my favorite little talked about details of the game. But all we have to do is walk up here and yet another cave discovered. Venturing to the farthest reaches has proven rewarding. You may be tired of walking, but just one last leap remains. Now, go get that treasure. And this dungeon is the Frontier Cavern. Like I said, it has fire, water, electric, and poison hazards. It also has explosion hazards, even though it's not shown here. But since we basically did what is a whole day in this episode already, I think we're going to end this episode here. So I hope that everyone enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Next time, we head into the Frontier Cavern to see how much of our remaining debt we can pay off. But until then, happy adventuring!